everyone. Just making a quick little video here because I just saw that the Oscar nominations were revealed, and I do have some interest in these, mainly because of certain films. I'm not the biggest fan of the Oscars. I don't really care much about award ceremonies in general. I think they're all a shite, if I'm being honest, but I do have a certain interest in some of these films because some of these films I've seen, and one in particular is pretty important to me, especially, and to cinema as a whole, I think. So yeah, the main films here, we've got Joker, of course, 1917, The Irishman, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Now, I've only seen one of these four films. Didn't get to see Once Upon a Time when it came out, although I did hear it was pretty mixed. I heard it was all right, but it was slow, so it was a bit hyped up. And 1917, I will be seeing this week. It didn't come out here until the other day, I'm sure. Like, it's just recently came out in the UK. So I'm going to be seeing that, and I'm really excited to see it. So I am. But the main film here that I want to talk about is Joker. Now, Joker is a film that I actually went to see last year numerous times. I saw it 3 times in cinema, which, by the way, just for any context for people here, I very rarely ever go to see a film more than once. Very, very rarely. And yeah, it usually takes a fucking flat out masterpiece to do that. I went and saw it. You know, this was a film that, I'll be honest, I was not that hyped about Joker a year ago. Like, I'd heard about this film back in, like, I don't know, 2016. I remember hearing rumours they were going to do it. 2017, you know, they went out and, you know, apparently Martin Scorsese was going to work on it at one point, but then he left. And then, you know, Joaquin Phoenix was attached to it, and you know, I just thought, I didn't like the idea of a Joker origin movie. You know, it didn't interest me. I'm not even like I've read The Killing Joke. I think it's a good story. I think it's a bit overhyped. I don't think it's the greatest origin story of all time, especially for a villain, especially for a Batman villain. So I wasn't too keen on the idea of a Joker movie. You know, especially a Joker origin film. So yeah. Then the trailers came out and they looked all right, and I was getting to get a bit more won over, but I was still a bit skeptical. And then, you know, right as the film was coming out, like, it was actually, you know, it was when the critics were coming out with the reviews of the films, and I don't really tend to take critics that seriously, or I don't tend to, you know, put them up in a high and, you know, listen to their words as gospel. But this was so telling, because this was the first comic book movie that was getting such high praise. You know, like, even Black Panther, and I've got my opinions about Black Panther as a film, you know, but I just don't think that film should have been nominated for Best Film last year for numerous fucking reasons. But with Joker, you know, that was getting praise before it even came out. You know, when it was at film festivals, I think it was Venice Film Festival and stuff, it was getting praised to high hell, it got standing ovations. That got me interested, it really did. And then I went to see the film. I think I saw it the day it came out. It was either the day or the second day it came out. And yeah, I was completely blown away by it. Like, as a Batman fan and as a Joker fan, it was quite possibly the best adaptation of the character ever brought to screen. And I'm a massive, you know, Heath Ledger fanboy. You know, I think his Joker was the best; it would never be matched. And Joaquin Phoenix came and proved me wrong, or at the very least, he's on the same level. He came out and gave a fucking amazing performance, one of the best performances I've seen in a movie in a long time. And not only, and here's the weird thing, he wasn't just playing the Joker, he played the Joker and he played, you know, Arthur Fleck, you know, this very separate character, and it was the evolution, you know, the becoming the Joker aspect of it that was really the main drive of the story, and he did it perfectly, and by the end of the film, he was the Joker, and it was perfect. So it was a brilliant film. Like I said, I had to go see it again the next week, and then I saw it a third time a few weeks later. I saw it 3 times in the space of a month, and I was tempted to go see it a fourth. I'm not gonna lie, I was tempted to go see it a fourth, but then other films came out and wanted to go see them as well and stuff. But yeah, it was a fantastic film. It was a brilliant comic book film. It was a brilliant film, and I absolutely loved it. And I hope that you know, I hope it manages to win some awards. Like I said, I don't tend to care much about Oscar films, like or films with the Oscars. Like, I see if there's a few other films here that have been nominated that I've got some interest in. Like Jojo Rabbit, for example, Taika Waititi. I'm not the biggest Taika Waititi fan. I've seen the trailer for that film and it looks pretty good. Ford versus Ferrari. I actually went and saw that film. It was really good. So it was possibly the second best film I saw last year. I don't know. I'd have to think about it. But Joker was the best. Joker was the hands down best film of the year for me last year, 2019. And you know, it wasn't even a competition, and it was by far the best comic book related film as well. It was the best. It's the best comic book film probably of the decade. Like I'd say it's that, Spider-Verse, Logan, maybe Winter Soldier as well. I'd have to think about it, but like there's very few comic book films that I would hold that high in regards. Like it was the best DC film since The Dark Knight. I'll say that. It was just absolutely fantastic. So you know, we've got some of these other films here. Like I said, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I heard was alright. Judy, of course, came out recently. I've heard great things about that. Parasite, I heard great things about that. So yeah, a lot of these films here, I'm sure, are great and whatever else. And I also noticed that Endgame didn't get nominated for Best Film, which I didn't think it would happen anyway, but I'm kind of glad, because Endgame was a piece of shit. And this has come from a Marvel fan. I hated that film. And I'm so glad that Joker not only embarrassed it by getting nominated when Endgame didn't, but it completely trounced it in nominations and such. Yeah, and unlike Black Panther, this time it was earned. So yeah, the Oscars, I'm not that fussed about the Oscars, but I would love if Joker won Best Film. And I'll tell you this, at the very least, if it didn't win any awards, any other awards, even though I do think it will win a few, if it didn't win any other awards, I at least hope that Joaquin Phoenix wins for Best Actor, because, like I said, his performance was perfect. It was on par with Heath Ledger. Like, and for me, that's not easy. That's not an easy thing for me to say. It really isn't, but it really was. And as much as I love this film, and I hope that they never make a sequel, because I wouldn't want it to be ruined. But at the same time, I would be really tempted to see him return in a future Batman film, because he's an excellent Joker, and yeah, that's just that. So yeah, basically, I hope the film wins. If not though, if it loses, you know, if 1917 wins, you know, I will be seeing that film soon. I might do a review of it, talk about that. I wouldn't be too annoyed, but at the very least, I'm happy that Joker get nominated for 11 categories. That's crazy. In fact, let me look up. There was a great, someone put it on Twitter. They posted all the categories. I found the tweet here. So here's the 11 categories that it's up for. It's up for Best Actor, which, you know, I think Joaquin could win. You know, I think he's got a decent chance, and I hope he does. Best Director, Todd Phillips possibly could win. Although I have a feeling Martin Scorsese, you know, the man himself, who's also a big fan of comic book movies, obviously, or possibly Tarantino for Once Upon a Time. Best Picture, hoping, I really am. I would love it to win Best Picture. As a comic book fan and as a fan of cinema, yeah, it's the perfect combination of both. It really is. Cinematography, the cinematography was exceptionally well in Joker. Some of the shots are beautiful. It's an outside chance, but I think there's a chance. I'd have to see some of the other films. Of course, 1917, I think would probably win that. Original score, I think it has a chance of winning original score. I think the music in the film, as well as the licensed songs that they had, were both brilliant, fantastic. In fact, as soon as the soundtrack comes out, I don't know if it's already out, but I'm gonna go get myself that movie's soundtrack, because like it's one of the best soundtracks of a film of the last few years, hands down. It's you know, up there with Guardians of the Galaxy. It's that good. Film editing, you know, it could possibly win. Adapted screenplay, you know, I think it has a chance of winning that, but like I said, I'd have to see some of the other films. Sound mixing, it's a shout. Sound editing, costume design, makeup, hair, you know, all those, it has a shout at winning, it has a chance, and I hope it wins a few, because it's such a good movie, and it also broke the Dark Knight's record for the most nominations. So I really am hoping that it manages to bag a few of these awards. Alright, sorry, my battery went there in the camera, so I had to quickly recharge it up again. So basically what I was saying there about Joker and the Oscars, you know, Joker is a significant film, it's an important film. It's, you know, no matter what you think of it, it's, you know, if you like it or if you dislike it, you loved it or you hated it, you can't deny it was an important and influential film. And you know, it was, you know, it's part of cinema history now. It is the first R-rated billion-dollar film, like first ever. That will never change. That will always be the case. And the fact that a film, you know, it wasn't even, you remember, that didn't even get a release in China, that was R-rated, so it was restricted by that. The fact that, you know, an R-rated DC film that didn't get a release in China went and made $1 billion. You know, it was lightning in a bottle. So it wasn't. And the film itself was brilliant. And now it's been nominated for 11 Academy Awards. Like, this is the best film of the last few years for me. And certainly the best comic book film. There's no denying that anymore. So yeah, I hope it manages to win a few. At the very least, if nothing else, I do hope that Joaquin Phoenix wins for Best Actor. He was exceptional, and he also seems like a pretty humble guy in real life. You know, I don't want to get too much into Hollywood and politics and shit, but a lot of people in Hollywood just seem like assholes. I'm not gonna lie, there's a lot of assholes in Hollywood, and he seems pretty chill. So he does. He seems pretty humble, and I really hope that he manages to win, and I hope Joker wins. So yeah. Thanks for watching this video. I might get back later because I think the Morbius trailer has just dropped. So until then, I'll see you guys later.